Hello, sports history fans. I'm Harv Aronson from the Total Sports Recall podcast. You're about to jump into another thrilling sports history moment, but first let's dive into today's sponsor just in time for the holiday season. Introducing Art of Words, the brainchild of word artist Dan Duffy from Philadelphia. Dan meticulously crafts stunning images by handwriting relevant words from some of the greatest sports moments in time. These unique, budget-friendly illustrations are the perfect gift, sparking cherished memories and capturing hearts. Choose from city skylines, sports, history, and musicians to find a piece for everyone. And here's the exciting part. For that sports fanatic in your life, gift them a piece of their favorite team or player's history. Art of Words tells a compelling story. Explore collegiate stadiums, each meticulously crafted with every football victory etched in words. Or venture into baseball stadiums, handwritten with every player from the team's illustrious history. Don't wait. Order a print today for yourself and your loved ones this holiday season. Transform your wall into a gallery of captivating art and surprise your family and friends with a print of their own. Use code SHN15 at artofwords.com for a 15% discount on your order in November and December. Visit Art of Words, where words magically transform into stunning art, evoking cherished memories and touching the hearts of those you care about. Again, use the code SHN15 for a 15% off at artofwords.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, fans, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Sports on the Sports History Network. On today's podcast, we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions, who from 1952 to 1957 dominated NFL football. The Detroit Lions franchise began in 1930, but they were the Portsmouth Spartans for their first 4 seasons. From 1930 to 1951, the team had its fair share of success, posting 12 winning seasons compared to 8 losing seasons, with 2 500 seasons. In 1935, the Lions won the NFL championship, defeating the New York Giants 26-7. But winning one championship in 22 years isn't that much to brag about. After finishing the 1951 season with a 7-4-1 record, Lions fans were ready for a big year in 1952. The Lions had some talented players. Jack Christensen, free safety, was in his second year. Lou Creekmur, an offensive tackle, was obtained from the Philadelphia Eagles in 1951. Rookie Yale Larry was a defensive back and punter. Rookie Dick Stanfel was a guard. Bobby Lane was obtained from the Bears in 1948. Doak Walker was in his second year, and he played halfback. The season didn't get off to a good start. After 3 games, their record was 1 win and 2 losses. And they were outscored 59-20. The Lions rebounded to win 8 of their next 9 games. In Week 5, they beat the Packers 52-17. They beat the Steelers 31-6 in Week 7. The following week, they trounced the Dallas Texans 43-13. In their last 3 games, the Lions' high-powered offense scored 134 points. Bobby Lane, Lou Creekmur, and Jack Christensen made All-Pro. End Cloyce Box and defensive tackle Thurman McGraw also made All-Pro, while halfback Bob Horschenmeyer, fullback Pat Hardy, and safety Bob Smith made the Pro Bowl. Their 9-3 record left them in a tie with the Rams for first place in the NFL National Conference. The two teams met in a playoff game to decide who would play the NFL American Conference champion Cleveland Browns. The Lions won 31-21. In the championship game, the Browns had more first downs, rushing yards, and passing yards than the Lions. But they also had 7 penalties and 2 costly turnovers. The Lions won 17-7 for their first NFL title in 17 years. Rookie linebacker Joe Schmidt joined the team in 1953. Midway through the season, the defending champs looked unspectacular with a 4-2 record. But they won their next 6 games to finish the season 10-2. Halfback Doak Walker, guard Dick Stanfel, nose tackle Les Bingman, and safety Jack Christensen made All-Pro, while quarterback Bobby Lane and safety Yale Larry made the Pro Bowl. The Lions met the Browns for the second year in a row in the NFL title game and won their 3rd World Championship with a 17-16 victory. The 1954 Lions got off to a fantastic start, winning their first 3 games and outscoring their opponents 104-26. The Lions won their next 5 games after losing to the 49ers in Week 4. They avenged that loss by walloping the 49ers 48-7 in Week 8. They finished the season with a 9-2-1 record and would face the Browns again in the NFL Championship. They had defeated the Browns in the final game of the regular season and fully expected to beat them again in the title game. But 9 turnovers did them in, and they were never in the game, losing 56-10. Halfback Doak Walker, tackle Lou Creekmer, guard Dick Stanfel, nose tackle Les Bingaman, linebacker Joe Schmidt, and safety Jack Christensen made All-Pro, while linebacker Laverne Torgensen and quarterbacks Jim David and Bill Stitz made the Pro Bowl. After appearing in 3 NFL championships in a row and winning 2, the Lions completely collapsed in 1955. Maybe their confidence was shaken after the 56-10 shellacking they took from the Browns in the championship game. Or perhaps it was the injuries and poor off-season personnel moves. Likely, it was a combination of all 3. Whatever the reason, they finished the season with a dismal record of 3 wins and 9 losses. Jack Christensen and Joe Schmidt made All-Pro. Doak Walker and Lou Creekmer made the Pro Bowl, as did defensive back Jim David. Whatever the problem was in 1955, it didn't carry over into 1956. 6 weeks into the season, they had yet to lose a game. They lost 2 of their next 3, but won the next 2 by a combined score of 87-17. They needed to win their final game to win their division and move on to the NFL Championship. Their opponent would be the Chicago Bears, whom they had defeated 2 weeks prior by a score of 42-10. But this time, the Bears emerged victorious, and the Lions had to settle for second place with a 9-3 record. Bobby Lane, Lou Kriegmer, Joe Schmidt, Jack Christensen, and Yale Larry made All-Pro. Jim David and center Charlie Ann made the Pro Bowl. The 1957 season started with a new head coach, George Wilson, who would replace Buddy Parker. A Week 9 loss to the Bears dropped the team's record to an unimpressive 5-4 record. But they won their next three, which put them in a first-place tie with the San Francisco 49ers in the Western Division. The teams would meet in a playoff game to decide who would face the Browns in the NFL championship game. Midway into the third quarter, the 49ers led 27-7. But the Lions weren't through yet. Running back Tom Tracy scored 2 touchdowns, one on a 58-yard run to tighten the gap, 27-21. The Lions added 10 more points in the fourth quarter to win, 31-27. Now it was on to the NFL championship game, where their opponent would again be the Cleveland Browns. Detroit wanted revenge for the 56-10 beatdown Cleveland handed them 3 years earlier, and they got it, forcing 7 turnovers and walking away with an impressive 59-14 victory. George Wilson won the NFL Coach of the Year award. Lou Kriegmer, Joe Schmidt, and Jack Christensen made All-Pro, while Yale Larry, Jim David, guard Harley Sewell, and defensive end Darius McCord made the Pro Bowl. The Lions would not play in a championship game again until 1991, when they lost to the Redskins 41-10, and they have not had much success since. But from 1952 to 1957, the Detroit Lions were a force to be reckoned with, playing in 4 NFL title games and winning 3. 7 Detroit Lions players from those teams were inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Bobby Lane played for the Lions from 1950 to 1958 and was inducted in 1967. Jack Christensen played for the Lions from 1951 to 1958 and was inducted in 1970. Joe Schmidt played for the Lions from 1953 to 1965 and was inducted in 1973. Yale Larry played for the Lions in 1952 and 1953. After missing the next 2 seasons due to military service, he rejoined the Lions and played from 1956 to 1964. He was inducted in 1979. Doak Walker played for the Lions from 1950 to 1955 and was inducted in 1986. Lou Kriegmer played for the Lions from 1950 to 1959 and was inducted in 1996. Dick Stanfill played for the Lions from 1952 to 1955 and was inducted in 2016. That will conclude our podcast for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and God bless.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Have you ever noticed that the lower jaw is not protected in sports? Did you know that 10,800 concussions will happen today? This has been an upward trend for the past 50 years. I'm Dr. Michael Hutchison, a practicing neuromuscular dentist. When my son wanted to participate in football and rugby, I was afraid he was going to get a concussion. That fear led me to finding the missing link to reducing concussions. The fact is, the only part of the skull that is not protected in sports is the lower jaw. If you want to drastically reduce concussions, there are 3 basic jaw positions that affect concussions, and 2 of them are not good. The correct one is called physiologic jaw position. It will dissipate the force away from the brain. Knowing that, I designed an appliance that put my son's jaw in the right place. And as a result, he was concussion-free from 5th grade all the way to senior year. This jaw position takes those 10,800 concussions today down to 28. It's the key to concussion protection. As a parent, this is what you need to know. It's extremely important that the device you are using is on the lower jaw. Thickness of the device is important. Most importantly, it must position and hold you in your own unique personal physiologic jaw position. So if your child goes out on the field with the correct jaw position, your son or daughter will not one of those 10,800 concussions today. Get yours today at powerplusmouthguard.com. Use the promo code POWERUP2023 for 10% off.